evening, guys. I'm smiling because I don't care about England. But on Monday, how we do, big man?
Yeah, I'm great, Mr. B, and it's good to be here. Summer nights, you can see we're looking all tanned up and happy. The only thing is the performance at the moment is a bit crusty. What I want to do today is be a bit positive, though, because it's June. We're watching a big tournament, and it takes time. I just say take time, have patience. If you look at early doors, his background, you've got Martin Peters, Bobby Moore, and Jeff Hurst reminding us of what England can achieve. And they didn't start too well in '66 either. So I'm still, I'm not backing the manager, Southgate, but I'm backing the momentum, which will build slowly if we qualify and get through. I'm still with England.
Early doors, how you doing, man?
Let me just kind of get some of them sun rays from a Monday, plus that optimism. And I'm enlightened as well now. Of course we're going to do well. No, I mean, this is deja vu from what we saw a couple of days ago. If not, this actually performance was worse than the last, the couple of days. Let me correct myself. So, yeah.
Anthony, you look depressed as hell, boy. Talk to me, man.
Well, first things first, I just want to say I'm looking forward to this show. Obviously, with myself, Early Doors, Mr. B. I'm going to say on Monday, it's been a hell of a long time that me and you has been on a show. But listen, it's great to be on a show with you. I'm with these guys. It's dire. The two England games for me, it hasn't been fantastic. I don't know. I think this manager he's got to change philosophy, tactics, formation, because this is the first time he's actually played a 4-2-3-1. In the last two campaigns, we were playing 4-3-3. So obviously he's got different players there now. He's changed the tactics, the formations. It's just simply not working. You can see it. It's not the England that we normally want, is it? Let's be honest.
Okay, so we'll start with the lineup. It was unchanged from the last game. We saw holes in it. Would you have made a change? This is to you on Monday, and then Anthony, and then Early Doors.
So, obviously with the starting lineup, he hasn't changed it, has he? He's gone with the same again. The talking points from the last game, which using Anthony's words was dire. I like that. Instead of being rude and swearing, you said it's dire. That's good. So the talking points from the last game seemed to be about Trent being in that position. Trent was dragged 5 minutes into the second half, which suggests that the pressure, from Southgate is getting on Southgate about.
He's not a central midfielder. He's a failed right back.
That's a talking point. I think for him to drag him, that speaks volumes. And Trent, to his credit, didn't show to the cameras that he's peed off by it. But I think he would be, because you're trying him and he's trying to do a job. You've got to let a man get into the game and everything else.
Amondo, you say get a man to get into the game. The game was passing him by. I've had a man in my WhatsApp chat, a Liverpool man, say, no, Trent plays like that because he's got three runners and he can hit long balls when they play for Liverpool because it's just... Well, if you don't have those players in the team, don't play that central midfielder. Well, and if you're that central midfielder, don't try and hit the ball long. Keep the passes short.
I think the idea is good. What they're trying to achieve. We know what you're trying to utilize with Trent is his passing ability, whether it's short, into feet, passing in between the lines, but most importantly, spraying a ball diagonal to get in behind teams. Problem is, when you've got Saka, Foden and Kane, you haven't got the pace, I don't feel, to get in behind, to stretch teams like that. And that's what makes it a bit difficult. So missing out on players like Rashford and Gordon, for example, these guys are electric. That's what they've got. And they will stretch fullbacks and centre-backs to push back. So I'm going to stay on the Trent point. I think Trent was a talking point. When you start him again today, it suggested, okay, this is what we want to achieve. But if you want that to happen, I think you have to change the guys ahead of him so he can pick people out better. Playing, Foden wants to defeat a lot of the time. You're not going to see Foden bursting, getting behind, peel off. Saka can just about do it. But Kane is another talking point for me. I would start Ollie Watkins going forward from now on because he will definitely stretch defenders and stretch teams. But I'll leave it to the other boys for the other points there.
Anthony, Would you have changed anything from that starting lineup, mate?
Yeah, I would have. To be honest with you, I would have dropped Trent from what he played in this game and last game. I would have definitely have dropped him anyway. There's no problem. What I would have done was actually bring Jude Bellingham back alongside maybe Declan Rice. Obviously, Harry Kane up front, even though he's got the goal. But listen, this is what I was saying to people today. I said, if a player like Harry Kane, he needs to stay in the box. Hence, that's why he scored his goal. Have you noticed Harry Kane? He always comes back way too deep, and he defended in the last game, didn't he? That vital letter, which I feel Pickford would have saved anyway. But people like strikers like Kane don't need to come back. They need to be around, alert in that 18-yard box. But I do agree with Amondi. I think I won't play Kane next game. I'll play in Ollie Watkins. Personally, I am going to say something now. Like I did say on last show, Harry Kane and Foden for me, that's not a good partnership. I can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Seriously, I mean, the balls in the box, where they want proper balls going into the box, so anybody can get on the end of it. It was just rubbish. I'm thinking, maybe, just maybe, is it worth dropping Foden for one game? Because we're all dying to see Palmer. Bring on Palmer. He was amazing for Chelsea last season. Bring him on. So what I'm saying is, Gareth Southgate has got all the players there in that England squad. He can actually rotate. Drop this player, bring in this player. Formation. We've got the best team on paper in this competition, but what we've been seeing in these last two games, it doesn't look it. Seriously, it doesn't. So it's like what I said. Southgate has got to change that team around, and the subs as well. When he brought on Gallagher as well, it reminds me of a certain Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. The subs for me, they were like for like. In all fairness, as the same as the last game. So it was just rubbish for me all around. I think he's got to change. He's got to spice these players up in one way, because it's quite easy to stand on the touchline, giving it that, but less of this and more of that. Let's start shouting at players. Motivate your players. Amondi will tell you, he's a manager. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the videos Amondi does, and he's there, he's shouting on the touchline to his players, man mark, pass the ball, stay back, get forward. I've seen it all Amondi, and I do enjoy those videos, mine. And but this is what we should be seeing with Gareth Southgate, instructing these players, because it is a young team, and young players at this age, under the age of 27, their peak, they're still learning the game. So, in other words, for them to learn the game, he's got to got to learn the players. He's got to teach them how to play, get in the position, and pass balls in the box at the right time. This is important.
Oh,
you're on mute, Mr. B.
Yep.
Oh,
that's better.
Rookie. That was a long one, Anthony. Boy,
Yeah.
you really got a lot to get off your chest, right?
I had to. I was slightly drunk on
it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Early doors. We'll start with the team, and then you can just go on to the other bits, and we'll pick up from where you leave off.
Well, yeah, using the same formation the team as last week, that didn't bode well. Straight away, you knew that this is where the manager's fault comes at play. The fact that you're using Trent, which was ineffective in the last game, today, 2 possibly balls he dinked over, which were decent, but that was it. I didn't even know Conor Gallagher was on the pitch until he was mentioned on the screen. I didn't even know the man was there. The fact of, again, Foden, Kane, yeah, there got to be big changes there. You need to have Palmer sitting on there for the whole game, on the bench doing nothing. And yet we had Foden kind of wasting chances. Kane, okay, the goal itself, that was more by chance than actually by luck, Yeah. It's just the fact of it hit a Denmark player, which then rebounded off a Saka into a Denmark player and into the path of Kane. Other than that, we created nothing. At least Ollie Watkins, like on Monday said there, you're going to have a bit more chance of him doing something. And there's even Anthony's alluded to, even Tony could do something in that respects as well. I have to ask Anthony this one. What the hell happened to Declan Rice today?
He wasn't in the game.
Did the whole mid? Can I ask you? Do you not think the whole midfield looked really, really tired?
Yeah, there was that. But before the first half, sorry, Danny, before the end of the first half, I don't know what happened to our formation and shape because it was all over the place. You got Harry Kane out on the right wing. You got a man over this side doing something else. I think you even had Walker further up the pitch than you had Kane at one point. The shape just went out the window. We were disarrayed. There was nothing going on. And even when we came into the second half, there was still no creativity. I mean, we got a couple of chances, but really, I think we was lucky in certain respects. And then if you look at the Denmark goal, you had, I think there was a situation with Rice. You also had, who was the other guy? Walker, not Walker, Stones. Stones turned his back to the ball is being shot. That's basics.
Let the ball slap you in your face.
Yeah, or in the where in the nether regions, if you take it and he stops it, you've done your job. Simple as that.
Take one for the team. Yeah, I know.
and sorry, I was just seeing from Chris. Big up to him. Meta Football TV. Bellingham, was he effective today?
No.
Can I? You see, I'm not sure Bellingham and Foden can play in the same team.
No,
just for balance for the team.
Mm.
Do you think Southgate's not going to do it? They play in the same position. If it was Spain or if it was Italy, they would have the one who the manager feels is the better one started in his position. And then Bellingham today, when he gets tired, Foden comes on in that position. And they have competition for that position. At the moment, Foden knows he's going to start. Whether it's left, well, it's going to be left. Regardless of how he plays, he's going to start on the left. There's no competition. This is supposed to be the creme de la creme of football. And there's no competition in positions. So I think he's got the balance wrong. Is he going to be brave enough not to start Foden or not to start Bellingham? But I thought Bellingham was poor today. I thought Bellingham was, considering the level that he's been playing at, I thought he was really, really poor today.
Yeah, he was poor.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, if you go back to the first game, Mr. B, it was Jude Bellingham and Saka. They were the best two players in the first half in that first game, and then the second half started. It just went straight downhill from there. It pretty much reminded me of this game. First thing I want to say first is, that Denmark goal, you couldn't take anything away from that. That was a good goal. So obviously fair play for them for scoring that goal and respect to the player as well. But it was just people. The passes was poor. We were losing the battles in the midfield. It's like what Tony said. For some reason, you had Kai Walker that was further up the pitch than Kane. At certain periods of the game. And with King coming back, this is what I'm saying. You don't need him to come back. It was just, you've touched on it as well. The balance is not there. The shape, the structure, the balance is nothing there. All I can see in that team at the minute is like a wall, cracks are appearing in that wall, and is also appearing in the team as well. We can all see it, But what I'm trying to say is, if we can see it, why can't the manager see it? That's the only problem that I've got. No matter how we play or whatever, the buck stops with the manager. That's it. End of. So at the end of the day, if we fail to win this Euro, right, what's going to happen?
Do you think they can win the Euros? Did you come into the Euros thinking that they were going to win it?
I thought, I was going to say we were going to be finalists again, and we can most probably go on to win this, improve from the last Euro. Because we only lost out on penalties, didn't we, to Italy? So this is what I'm saying. So I thought to myself, we've got a really good chance. Jude Bellingham, being in the team, scoring 20 odd goals for Real Madrid, fantastic. Foden, how he was. Palmer for Chelsea. You know, I mean, the list is endless. Declan Rice. Yeah, I just, all I'm going to say is now, Mr. B, and I'll pass it over to whoever wants to speak after. Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot be in that position. I want him out the team. Now, I can't believe I'm saying this. What's wrong with Meaning for Man United?
I don't want him any part of this debacle, mate. I don't.
You don't want to tarnish him. You don't want to tarnish him. I get that. I
don't want. I didn't even want him to go. I'm glad he left. I'm glad he went. I'm glad he proved that he's good enough. And when he's played, I've had rival fans say, "No, he's a good player." But don't tarnish yourself with this bullshit, bruv. He should have stayed at home. He should have been chilling in the summer, and coming back nice and fresh for it. Early doors. I forgot what the hell I was going to ask you. Damn, it's gone.
Well, I'll ask you a question then. You know, to all of you guys, basically, you can see it's going to come. Yeah, the pitch today was atrocious. It was chewing up and cutting up badly in there. It just reminded me, what was the year it was when your pitch, we had mouse and that running all over it and stuff like this. They must have wanted to use the same people to do this pitch at Frankfurt Stadium. It was shocking, absolutely shocking.
So I know it was. Did you come into the tournament thinking England could win? Guys in the chat, I didn't think they would win, but it's just me. I think France were always on paper, and Germany being at home, I always thought that they were going to do better. Portugal, I think, I've got a better team. But guys in the chat, did you not think that England would win this tournament?
I think if you look at it, as Anthony said, on paper, it should be a no-brainer. But unfortunately, with Southgate in charge, that's going to be our downfall. And this is the thing: the man's going to, if he's going to stick to his word and he's going to retire come the end of this competition, he's going to say he's done enough.
Monday, Mr. What's the word? Optimistic. Come on, talk to me. Did you think England were going to win this tournament before it started?
You got to say on paper, like early doors are saying, we should have a chance with the players that we have. But it's not about that. It's not about Southgate either. I don't think Southgate's a great manager, to be honest. You want a motivator to get these players motivated to play. Problem is this, I believe. England haven't won a tournament since those great three players there in '66. Go on.
Sorry. You know what? The messages have been coming in, guys, and I apologize that we haven't because we're talking. But this one just sweet the hell out of me. Jesus,
big unusual suspect.
Almighty.
Did he say that for real?
If this what this, and that's what I'm saying. This is why this I cannot believe that this is what the guy That's anyway.
You know what? The thing is, he's straining for some explaining. He's a FA man. He's not gonna go against the players or say anything negative about the players. What you should be saying is you got to change your mentality. You need someone out there who's going to motivate these guys and get them on side. When we tried to do that with Capello, they didn't like it. Oh, he's too strict. But this is what they need. The mentality of England players is the issue, I believe. Because when you look at Spain, they've got an identity. All play together in the same league. They play the same brand of football. That's their identity of play. We're trying to, since the Premiership's coming, we're trying to play a brand of football from a foreign side of things, which we're still, to this day, struggling to adapt to.
The Premier League's 35 years old, bro.
What English side do you know, with full English players, plays that brand of football, Pep style or tiki-taka style? It doesn't happen. When you get an English side or an English manager, it's usually a Sam Allardyce or who's the Everton manager from Burnley. There's not many successful English coaches. The last English coach to win anything significant in Premier League was, well, not in the Premier League, was the year before the Premier League with Howard Wilkinson. You know, but since then, no English manager or British manager has really done anything significant in the Premier League to say, yeah, English coaches are on the up. There's a style. The thing with English football, the way we play our brand of football is a traditional game. It's like hard work, effort, hitting the balls in the channels, running, crosses, headers, that kind of thing. Now we're trying to play a brand of football which doesn't suit us. That's why, if we make it intricate and put Trent in this position and he will play between the lines, or we'll be spraying balls up there, it's too calculated. You got to play on instinct a lot of time, and you're taking it away from the players. These players who are good players are getting the ball in certain positions, and because it's not a day in, day out training with a club side, they're playing with players with egos as well. It's like, I've got the ball. All right, now what do I do? All right, I don't want to lose the ball. All right, and I've got to get a touch here before I pass it. And by the time you're having that split second of thinking about the pressure, if I give the ball away, oh my God, I'm going to get grilled like Beckham did, or the media's going to be on me, or I'm going to be a meme. This is what's going through their head. So that split second of doubt or hesitation, they're suddenly getting munched. And I think Denmark done brilliantly today by saying, aha, look at England. They were soft against Serbia. Get on them in midfield, pinch the ball, they'll be under pressure, get in their faces, and we'll get turnovers. And that's exactly what happens. So for me, it's the mentality thing. These players are not used to playing with one another. They haven't got an ID to sort of like a traditional English style of play ID that they're playing. They're forced to play this forced kind of football. When they're playing in a club side, they've got so many foreigners around them who go to, oh, pass it to Gundogan or pass it to De Bruyne. Okay, let's make things happen. It's easy like that. You're asking guys like Rice to dominate and dictate the play, and he's struggling out there because it's too much pressure. None of these guys want to be that guy who makes the mistake. They only have to look at their manager, and look what happened to him. He's doing peace adverts for missing a penalty. This is what we do in this country here. So it's the pressure that they can't take. If you can't take the pressure, get out the kitchen. I want more instinctive players out there, more proactive players out there who can start to do things and not worry about the risk of being slaughtered in the press or on shows like this.
Question: the goal that they scored, we did a show about central midfielders. I did a show with Bath Time, and we did the guy who scored Hullman in it, and his scoring attributes weren't very good on that one. Are we gonna have? Is there any fault with Pickford for the goal?
No.
You can't.
You've seen how much goals have been scored from outside the box in this tournament as well.
It's been amazing, and most of them has actually come from the teams that are the underdogs. Let's be honest; they've been absolutely fantastic. I mean, Portugal, I thought they were lucky to win. Last night, they were. But I mean, you look at these underdogs, and they're playing really well, really well. I can't. Do you know what? I think most probably you touched on it, Mr. B, about Germany. They're most probably be the finalist in one of the teams that have reached the finals. It won't surprise me if we actually see one of these underdogs going far. I mean, look at that time when Greece won the Euros. We didn't expect Greece to win it, did we?
No,
So it could be another repeat performance from that Euros going forward. In this campaign. But yeah, you can't blame Pickford. No, it was from the throw-in, wasn't it? Obviously they scored from the England throw-in. It's like what I said, that the team did. I think they lacked communication. In all fairness, in that midfield, and obviously they weren't picking the balls up right, and which obviously led to Denmark's goal. But it's like what I said earlier, you can't fault Denmark because obviously that was such a good goal. But Pickford, he wants to blame on that.
All right, look, we're running out of time, to be fair. I'm going to ask you guys, obviously you all came into the tournament thinking that obviously football's played on paper and England were going to win it. So what changes do you make for the final game? I mean, I was talking to my son and I was saying, if England won, maybe they would rest players or give the fringe play so everybody feels like they're involved. I think that's what Germany are going to do. They've won their 2 games. All of the lesser players will probably play. The pressure's off, but then they're going to be excited because England now he has to get the 3rd game right with team. Who are you taking out? What's your starting 11? I'm going to go with early doors. Guys in the chat, jump on this as well. Let's see if we can work out a team that gets England through to the next round. What you got, early doors?
I mean, if you look at it, the one straight away, Foden to come off for Palmer.
Would you play? So you're playing Palmer on the left?
Yeah, I'll start with him. And more importantly, I think if I was going to do a substitution on that, then it'd be Gordon. Forward, I'll go with Watkins.
Do you think Kane's fit?
I think he's fit. It's just the fact, again, it comes down to our creativity. That's what's lacking. Forwards feed off of that. And if you're not supplying anything, you ain't going to score. And this is why, in certain respects, you saw in the last game, and especially the second half, Kane dropping back so deep just to kind of feed off the scraps. That just shows you in itself. That's where he's lost the plot in that respects. Trent Alexander, yeah, basically he's got to come off.
Who goes in? Gallagher?
No. Like I said, I didn't even know he was in this game today. So there's no impact in that respects. And unfortunately, cover your ears now, Mr. B. Yeah, cover your ears. But unfortunately, Kobe Mainu is
needs
the one
to
that
play.
should be going. Yeah.
So we've got the back. You're happy with the back four and the goalie. You're taking out Foden for Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking out Trent for
Mainu,
and you're taking out Watkins for Harry Kane.
Yeah,
I would agree. I wouldn't, as much as I don't want Mainu to play. I think that gives the England team a little bit more balance. I would have gone Gordon, more, but I think Gordon would be, if they were losing the game, or if they needed somebody else to bring him with play. I think Cole Palmer's a more cultured footballer. I think he's able to go both sides. I'm not sure that he can play on the left, but okay. So I agree with that. Anthony, what have you got?
I'll take, in all fairness, I'll take Trippier out of left back and put. I don't know. Well, I'll just give Shaw a go left back. I
He's
think
injured.
the rest
Shaw's injured.
Is he?
Shaw's not. Shaw
he's
is
injured.
not.
Yes, that's why he wasn't playing
he's
today.
injured, is he?
Yeah.
All right
Trust
then.
me.
Well, in that case,
Shaw
then
ain't
I'll
playing
just
nothing
leave. I'll
before
leave
group
that.
stage.
I'll have to leave that. I'll have to leave that the same. Then.
Would you play Gomez? Gomez played there for Liverpool this season.
What left back?
Yeah. You leave it as
I don't
Trippier.
know. No. I'll stick with Trippier. I'll stick with Trippier. So I'll leave the back four. I got to be honest with you. I thought my man of the match was the centre back he plays for Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
He's played really well.
Yes,
Guy.
I thought he was the best player on that pitch day for us. So he stays. The back four stays. Pickford stays. I think what I'll do, I'll change it to a 4-3-3. I think I'll go Palmer. I'm still gonna pick Bellingham, Palmer, Bellingham, Mainu, and then my front three up front will be Palmer on the left.
Hold on, Palmer, Bellingham, and Mainu. So where's Rice?
No, Rice. Sorry, Rice. It'd be Rice, Bellingham, and Mainu, and my three up front would be Palmer, Watkins, and I'll most probably get you think I'm being biased, but I'll just keep Saka on the bike.
I don't think there's anything biased about it. I think Saka deserves to be played. I don't think there's anything biased.
I think he does. So I'd rather So it's Saka, Watkins, and Palmer, the three attackers for me, and obviously my midfield: Rice, Bellingham, and Mainu.
Monday, what you got?
Can't hear you.
You're on mute.
I'm a rookie tonight, aren't I? He's rubbing off.
We both done it. Sorry, man.
It's these damn dogs. They keep barking up. All right, just like Spain is saying here, they have balance. So if we watch Spain tonight, we see some balance. Like with Germany, we're seeing here. So England could have had this, but Southgate chooses not to. He could play Foden, Bellingham, Rice as a free with Gordon, Bohm as wingers, and then obviously someone up front as well. But he would play Saka at left back. So it's interesting that you asked the question, Mr. B, and that's a great variety of players there that we're switching around. But for me personally, I personally think that it's like I said there, it's the mentality thing. For me, if we're not going to keep the ball, we're going to have spells when we're not going to have the ball. And it's all right being like, we conceded a goal today, but we have men behind the ball. If you're going to score a worldie like that, fair enough. I ain't going to argue with that. They didn't play through us. Do you understand what I'm saying? What we need to avoid is stop teams playing through us. So I like the fact that we're getting players behind the ball when we haven't got the ball, but it's a bit too much. There's no outlet. That's why you need pace. So for me, I would start with Gordon. He's been electrical season. And what you know of him, he's going to put a shift in. Even if you take him off after 60 minutes, we get some fresh legs on. He's got that pace and drive where he's going to carry the ball and send their players back. Unfortunately, I don't understand why he didn't bring any quick players in. When we played in the previous Euros, he played with Kane, who would drop off, and he had Saka and Sterling causing problems.
And then Rashford was obviously come off that side as well. Yeah,
because defenders are thinking, my gosh, have I got to go sprint with this guy? No. So they're naturally going to back off, and then you're going to get more time and space to play the football. But what's happening now? These guys thinking, boy, I can deal with this. Foden in the foot race, playing him out wide. Foden does really well playing in central areas. That's where all the action happened for him today. So I would put Gordon on wide. I'd keep Saka because Saka's excellent. And for the balance, this is about balance. It's not about players, Palmer's done really well or Foden's done really well. It's about balance of the team and being effective. We're not keeping the ball. So have an outlet. We have Gordon and Saka. These guys can get in behind. You've seen Saka today dropped off and went in behind, and we had a chance header we could have scored. You know what I'm saying? That's the threat that we need to pose to teams. And once you do that, then the space will open up. And that's why I put someone like Mainu in midfield instead of Trent with Rice. Because that way Mainu can use the ball really well, pop it around, and then we can keep a bit of possession as well. And by stretching the team, stretching the opposition as well, then you get more time and space, and then you see a better brand of football, I believe. I'm talking about Gay. I've been really watching him, obviously, because we're Man United fans here. We're thinking, okay, what's he saying? He's a good player, and he's got a lot of pressure on him. But he's doing the job as defending and plays it quite simple, and we want to see more from him. I've never seen him spray a ball or whatever, but at least when it comes to defending, last-ditch challenges, and not giving up and coming back, credit to him, because there's a lot of pressure on him right now. I'd also want to see more of Eze in the middle. Bellingham's good and all that kind of thing. He plays for Real Madrid, yeah, great. Doesn't mean you're an automatic starter. So I think you should be thinking about the system and the team and the balance of the team rather than individuals and trying to bring them in just because they're good players or because they play for big clubs.
Right. With that, guys, we do want you to get back to watch your game. This is why we've jumped right in the middle of it. If you are watching it after we've streamed, leave some comments in there. We are talking England for a bit. We will get back to Man United, but right now everything's a bit quiet. So look, we're going to say thank you for watching. Early doors, I know you're the one that has to shoot first. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be able to come back to the reaction show for the next one. But early doors, thank you, man. Guys, all of you guys, if you are on the agenda, he's West Ham, but you know what? He's a top guy. Please follow his channel out there. Please do that. Do that before you shoot off. Yeah. Early doors, respect again. Thank you very much, man. I know
you're welcome, man. It's great being on the channel. And obviously, I'm privileged because Anthony's waited forever and a day. I only had to wait 2 days and I got Monty with me already straight away. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
I got a stalker.
Right, guys. Thanks anyway.
No problem, man. Take
people
it easy,
in the chat. Big up to yourselves. Thanks for coming in and supporting. Me, Anthony, and obviously Mr. B and Monty and that. Appreciate that a big time. Respect to you guys.
Thank you, man. Take it easy, man. Have a good one.
Yeah. Take care.
Anthony, thank you very much, sir. I know this England, I like the fact that England hurt you because it doesn't hurt me. So I'm glad I've got somebody on the channel that it really, really bothers. I'm glad.
It really touches me, England. Is sometimes it could be a sore subject, but at the same time, it doesn't surprise me. Do you know what I mean? Because we're used to it in every campaign, sort of thing. So, it is what it is. But, I enjoy coming on the shows. I enjoy the banter, the rivalry, and a bit of a debate here and there is sound. But all I want to say is make sure if you haven't clicked like, subscribe to the Man United Agenda, make sure you do because it's a good channel with good content. And obviously, Mr. B, I said that on the last show that I was on. It's great to have you back. So big up to yourself.
Cheers, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm on there. So I can't get used to calling you Yabba, bruv. I'm sorry, man. I can't get used to calling you Yabba. Big up, bruv. Big up. I know you. I didn't realize you were so positive about England, bruv. I didn't know there was that.
Listen, Tyrone just said it there. We ain't won anything since 1966, so I'm just there to enjoy it. You want to see development. It's to do with the players. We've had managers over the years. It's just there's so much pressure. on England players to perform and do something. And there's no identity anymore. They've lost their way. So it's going to be a sad story. There's going to be a fall guy at the end of it. It's going to be Southgate and a player who's probably going to miss a penalty or mess up or score an own goal or something like that. So, yeah, we know the story. It doesn't change.
Guys, and with that, be safe. We will be back tomorrow, maybe, depending on how things go. But we will get a couple of things going out over the weekend. Obviously, if we do sign a couple of players, if we do sign a player, we'll have that breaking. But from me, Mr. B, from me on Monday and Anthony, cheers, thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like if you haven't already on the way out. And with the agenda, we are out.